What's up guys, Asher back with another video, and in this video what I'm going to be explaining to you are 5 differences between working at a hagwon and in the public school with EPIK. Alright, I'm somebody that's actually done both. I'm currently working at a hagwon and I did work with EPIK from 2018 and 2019. And so the first difference I'm going to tell you about is going to be about location. So with regards to location, you can actually choose where you're going to work when you're with the hagwon compared to when you're with EPIK. When you're with EPIK, you apply to the EPIK system, and then from there, I guess it's kind of like you're rolling the dice and where you're going to be placed in the country. So you can be placed in any country in South Korea. You can give your preferences as to where you want to stay, but that's kind of under your control. Maybe they'll be nice. Maybe you will get preference if you have taught with EPIK before. I'm not quite sure, but I do know that with EPIK you can't choose where you're going to be. At least with the hagwon, you can actually apply to specific hagwons, and then maybe they'll get back to you and you can get a job that way. So for many people that do want to work in Seoul, they do tend to go the hagwon route for that very reason. So I actually was trying to come into the country earlier this year with EPIK, but I don't know what was going on with the EPIK program. I don't know if they weren't hiring and stuff, but I didn't hear back from them. So my only option was to go the hagwon route, and that's how I ended up here with working at the hagwon. Alright, so moving on to the second reason. The second reason that I have here are the benefits. With regard to benefits, there's actually not a universal thing that I can say, because every hagwon will be different in terms of what benefits they offer you, and maybe based on your experience as well. But I do feel that EPIK does have a better benefit system from regards to obviously vacation. Vacation with EPIK I think is now 26 days, and I have not met anyone that has got that many vacation days. So if you're into vacation, then you might want to consider EPIK, because with hagwons you might just get like 10 days or maybe less, if you know, in most cases. So there's going to be a big difference there. And then in terms of other stuff like medical insurance and, you know, maybe like a severance and bonus renewals and stuff like that, I also do think that EPIK is better with that, even though most hagwons do offer, like, you know, medical insurance and stuff like that, medical benefits. So it is kind of similar from the benefit standpoint, but definitely EPIK runs away from with regards to vacations. Okay, next what I have here is housing. So with regards to housing, this one, again, also EPIK may have the edge here, because with EPIK, your contract, you're going to get like, you know, a fridge, you're going to get a bed, you're going to get a table, you're going to get a chair, you're going to get a TV. I think these are all things that are in the EPIK contract. So like once you get into your place, you're going to have those things, and a washing machine as well. So with hagwons though, like usually they will hook you up with, you know, a fridge, a washing machine, but then everything else is kind of like on you. But then again, some hagwons may, you know, supply everything, some may not, but yeah, so that one's a little bit tricky. So I think also I would give EPIK the edge on that one in terms of housing. And then, you know, I'm not quite sure in terms of utilities, but like most places, most EPIK and hagwons will ask people to pay their own utilities, so for heating, electric, water and stuff like that. So that's on the person that's going to be living in there, and not the schools. So that's housing. Next, what I have here is the teaching experience. So with regards to teaching, it's gonna be a little bit different with hagwons. So with hagwons, your classes may be longer. Like right now, I'm actually having like 3-hour classes. So there are breaks in between, 5-minute breaks in between, but each class I have is 3 hours long. With EPIK, each class was about 45 to 50 minutes, depending on whether it's middle school or high school. So that's a big difference. So you're in a classroom and then you're in the class much longer. With EPIK, you do have a co-teacher that you teach with, and currently right now I don't have a co-teacher. I just teach one-on-one. Luckily, one major difference that you find is that the students in the EPIK system, they may vary in terms of levels in English. So far with my hagwon, they group the students based on their language ability. So if you're in a class and you're teaching, like almost all the students would be able to understand you, and because they'll be all of the same level. With EPIK, some students may, you know, be great and amazing, and then some may be not so much. So that's something that like is a little bit of a struggle. But class sizes tend to be smaller in Hagwons. In the EPIK program, they are at public schools, so your classrooms could be 20 to 25 students, and then in the Hagwons it could be smaller. And then obviously, depending on the hagwon that you're at, you may have some interactions with parents and stuff like that. With a public school EPIK system, you don't. Another thing you also may have to do is like report cards and a couple extra things on the side that like you wouldn't have had to do with EPIK. So there might be more responsibilities from you when you're working at a hagwon compared to when you're working with EPIK. So a lot of people will say that like, oh my god, like I'm working so hard at this hagwon. Another thing too is some hagwons, what they'll do is they'll get you to work on the weekends. So what happens is, if let's just say there's a holiday, right, which is like in Korea, like typical holidays are like Salal, I'm pronouncing that wrong, but Chuseok and a few others. Those big holidays where like there's multiple days in a row where there will be no school, they may require you to replace those days on the weekend. So if it's like a 2-day holiday, then like one Saturday and another Saturday later on, you're gonna have to teach those days, because technically your contract is you're supposed to fulfill a certain number of hours within your contract. And so if those holidays fall on a working day, then those hours need to be replaced at some point in time. So that's another thing that you're not gonna have to deal with EPIK. So there's a lot of stuff. Like obviously, you know, with EPIK also, sorry, not with EPIK, with the hagwons, the parents are paying for the kids' education. So the parents and the kids tend to be more strict. No, not strict, but they tend to be more serious about the education. With EPIK, it may be a little more relaxed, but with hagwons, they expect results because they're paying money. You know, things just tend to be more serious and more strict. So that's a major difference between working at a hagwon and at a public school. So for those that are thinking of working at a hagwon, definitely the EPIK experience is much I won't say much easier. It is easier and it's a little less stressful, I would say. And last but not least, what I have here is dependability. So in terms of dependability, your hagwon may not be as dependable as working with the EPIK program. So I'm not talking about mine, I'm just talking in general. We have heard a lot of horror stories with people that have worked at hagwons and some bad things that have happened to them. So for example, with this whole pandemic, a lot of people that used to work at hagwons got let go because, you know, a lot of the parents weren't letting their kids go to school, and some weren't doing it online, and then some people were just running away and whatever. And so I've heard stories of people that had like nightmare situations that happened once the pandemic hit. But luckily, before I got this job where I'm working right now, I did talk to some of the teachers that were working there, and they told me that everything was fine during the pandemic. They were able to switch online, and then everything went smoothly, and then everybody was paid on time and all that stuff. So that was good. But yeah, some hagwons I've heard that some hagwons can be bad when it comes to dependability. So do your research, try reaching out to the person that is working there, or a person that's working there, or a person that's worked there before, and trying to get like some details on that place, because you don't want to waste your time coming all the way here and then figuring out that like the place that you're working isn't dependable. So with EPIK, you know, you're going to get your apartment, your benefits, you know, you're going to get your salary, you know, you're going to get all of those things. And speaking of salary, actually, the salary actually does tend to be comparable with hagwons and EPIK. I know with EPIK, like, you will get a salary increase for each year that you complete a contract. With hagwons, you may or may not get that. I'm not sure, but like I've heard, like most places will give you salary increases with every renewal of your contract. Like I said, this isn't a blanket statement for all hagwons, but these are just some things that I've heard, and these are my personal experiences versus my personal experiences with working with EPIK. So there you go. That's pretty much my 5 differences between working with EPIK and at a hagwon. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, you can hit me up, either if it's on Instagram or if you want to hit me up in the comments here. I will reply to you. And yeah, I know things are a little bit different now. It's not the same situation how it would be with obviously class sizes being smaller, and then, you know, the ups and downs of the pandemic and stuff like that. So things are going crazy, but we'll see how it all ends. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.